It was the 31st of October 1993 when Federico Fellini passed away. 6 months earlier, in March, he had received an honorary Oscar for his contribution to the art of cinema, presented to him by Sophia Loren. In the audience, of course, sat Giulietta Masina, his wife and muse. First of all, I would like to thank all the people who have worked with me, Fellini said in his acceptance speech. I can't possibly name them all, but let me name just one, an actress who is also my wife. Thank you, dear Giulietta.
Thank you, dear Giulietta.
Little did he know at the moment there was a dreadful secret she was hiding from him.
And please, stop crying.
Well, you probably know the name of the famous film director Federico Fellini. His wife and lifelong partner Giulietta Masina was no less compelling in her acting craft. Together, they achieved the utmost heights of cinema career, yet their love story was no less impressive, inspirational, and, well, tragic. I learned about it just recently and decided to make a video tribute to it today. No wonder it illustrates the kind of love that becomes legendary. Federico Fellini, the iconic Italian film director, and Giulietta Masina, a talented actress with a unique, luminous charm, met in the early 1940s, just as World War II was drawing to a close. Masina, a spirited young woman with an expressive face and an innate gift for comedy and drama, was at the time performing radio plays. Fellini, a young writer working for Italian radio and magazines, had yet to make his directing debut and was trying to find his voice in post-war Italy's budding entertainment industry. Their first encounter on the set of a radio show became a fateful one. There was an instant spark, a bond between two creative souls who would come to understand each other profoundly. When they married in 1943, Italy was ravaged by war, and times were uncertain. Despite the turbulence surrounding them, Fellini and Masina built a solid, supportive relationship based on mutual respect and love. Though their life was initially humble, with both struggling in the early stages of their careers, they always shared a passionate belief in each other's potential. Their one and only child, a son, Pier Federico, was born on 22nd of March 1945. An unbearable tragedy, he was able to live only 11 days and died of encephalitis on 2nd of April. Masina and Fellini were struck by the deepest grief. It was their art that eventually helped them heal the pain and recover even stronger. They would have no other children, and the echo of this awful emotional drama definitely shaped the course of their future lives and careers. As Fellini transitioned from writing scripts to directing films, Masina was his first and often his only muse. Their lives intertwined both professionally and personally, creating a union that would become central to both of their creative identities. Fellini's films are deeply personal, often blending reality with fantasy, and Masina frequently served as his inspiration and later his leading lady. Masina's first major film was in Luci del Varietà, Fellini's directorial debut in 1950, which he co-directed with Alberto Latuada. Though the film wasn't a commercial or critical success, quite the opposite, it nevertheless marked the beginning of Masina's emergence as a unique cinematic presence. Her small stature, big eyes, and gentle yet poignant way of expressing emotion became defining features. She brought a sense of innocence and resilience to the characters she portrayed, often echoing her own personality. The experience of working together solidified their bond, and Masina became Fellini's closest collaborator. In 1954, Fellini made the groundbreaking film La Strada, which would go on to win an Academy Award for Best Foreign Film. Masina starred as Gelsomina, a naive young woman sold to a brutish circus strongman. Her portrayal was haunting, capturing both childlike innocence and the quiet, indomitable spirit that tugged at audiences' hearts around the world. Fellini wrote Gelsomina's character specifically for Masina, knowing only she could bring such vulnerability and strength to the role. However, the development and production processes were so long and tortuous that shortly before the end of the shooting, Fellini suffered a nervous breakdown and sank into severe depression. Luckily, his Giulietta was there by him to help him sort this all out and witness the well-deserved worldwide acclaim for this groundbreaking work. La Strada was not only a critical success, but a personal triumph for both Masina and Fellini. They shared the heights of international acclaim, yet both remained rooted in their modest beginnings and in their devotion to one another. Gelsomina became an icon of Italian cinema, and Masina's performance would be forever associated with her. In interviews, Fellini frequently stated that he could not have imagined the character without Giulietta. Their marriage, like their work, was filled with passion, creativity, and occasional tension. Fellini was known for his complexity as a director, often diving into elaborate fantasies and expressing ideas that blurred the line between reality and imagination. Masina, though equally creative, was deeply grounded and never sought the spotlight beyond her roles in his films. There were rumors of Fellini's infidelities throughout their marriage, yet Masina remained fiercely loyal. For her, love was about understanding and forgiveness, not perfection. She chose to see the beauty in Fellini's restless spirit and honored the life they had built together, filled with art and shared dreams. Friends close to the couple noted that despite any personal challenges, they always returned to each other, bound by a love that seemed unbreakable. Their connection was never conventional. It was rooted in a shared language of dreams, humor, and an unspoken understanding that transcended the demands of fame. Perhaps one of the most poignant collaborations between Fellini and Masina was Nights of Cabiria from 1957, a film that further cemented Masina's legacy as one of Italy's greatest actresses. In it, she plays Cabiria, a hopeful yet tragic prostitute searching for love and happiness in a world that continuously disappoints her. Masina's performance was captivating, balancing comedic innocence with heart-rending sadness, and earned her the Best Actress award at the Cannes Film Festival, in addition to the movie's own Oscar for Best Foreign Film. Cabira's hopeful resilience in the face of constant betrayal was, many believed, an echo of Masina's own strength and dignity. For Fellini, Masina was both his anchor and his inspiration. Their relationship was never static, it evolved and deepened over time. Even in later films, as Fellini began exploring surreal and avant-garde themes, Masina's influence was palpable. She was his silent muse, shaping his understanding of femininity, faith, and resilience. At that moment at the Oscar ceremony in March 1993, when Fellini was addressing the public and saluting his beloved wife, the camera caught Masina's face, drenched in tears. And Fellini added, "Please, stop crying." Masina loved Fellini so deeply that she never told him about the cancer the doctors had found in her lungs. His own weakened heart wouldn't have been able to bear it. She received outpatient treatment, stubbornly refusing hospitalization so that she could be home with him every day. She agreed to be hospitalized only when Fellini himself was admitted for surgery, but it was too late. Fellini was horrified when he received the news of Giulietta's illness. He immediately demanded a car to go to her. The doctors begged him to wait. He was still too weak himself, but they couldn't stop him. And so Fellini and Masina found themselves in neighboring hospital rooms. He was recovering, and she was dying. She was given 1.5 to 2 years to live. They were discharged on the same day, at the end of October. Fellini hurried the doctors to discharge them, determined to celebrate their 50th wedding anniversary outside the hospital. He insisted that they go to the very restaurant where he had taken Giulietta the day they met. During the appetizers, the director choked on a piece of mozzarella. He began to suffocate. A heart attack struck. The doctors who arrived could only confirm his death. Rome's streets were closed for Fellini's funeral procession. The public memorial was held at Cinecittà Studios, set against a painted backdrop of the sky. The service took place in a Roman church, Michelangelo's final creation. Nino Rota's sad music played softly. At the funeral, Giulietta barely cried. She only smiled shyly in response to condolences. Her turban covered her hair loss from her chemotherapy. Her fingers moved constantly over her Catholic rosary. When they lifted Fellini's casket to carry him out of the church, the small, fragile, terminally ill woman leaned forward and began to wave. They were carrying her life away. Giulietta Masina outlived her husband by 4 months. She was buried holding a photograph of Fellini in her hands, just as she had requested. On her tombstone, an inscription reads, "Now, Giulietta, you can cry." The love story of Federico Fellini and Giulietta Masina is an enduring testament to the profound connection between two people who shared not only a life, but a creative journey. Their relationship brought forth some of cinema's most enduring characters and narratives, blending the boundaries of life and art. To this day, film lovers see their bond reflected in the poignant, complex characters and stories they created together, especially in La Strada and Nights of Cabiria. The love was not always simple, but it was deeply authentic, a mixture of admiration, artistic collaboration, forgiveness, and an unwavering, quiet devotion. It was the kind of love that inspired great art, changed the landscape of cinema, and will be remembered as one of the most beautiful, intricate romances in the history of film. So touching, right? I hope you enjoyed my little tribute to Federico and his Giulietta. Let me know if you liked this video, and I'll be particularly happy if you decide to subscribe, and we'll see each other very soon. Take care. Bye.